Picture a village that people just left, no panic, no rifles at their backs. They walked away calm, taking their houses apart, log by log. On the ground, not a drop of blood, not a single broken thing. Just silence, and one word, carved into a post, Croatoan. August 1590, an English ship drops anchor off Roanoke Island. On board is Governor John White. 3 years earlier, he left 115 people here, men, women, and children, his own daughter, his granddaughter. He swore he'd be back fast, but a war with Spain held him up for 3 long years, and now, stepping onto that shore, he finds nobody. Not the living, not the dead, just a word on a tree. So, what happened to the first English colony in the New World? Where did 115 people disappear to, and how has nobody been able to close this case? For centuries. Let us reconstruct the timeline. Second half of the 16th century. England is scrambling to get into the race for the New World. Spain is already hauling gold out of the Americas, and Queen Elizabeth has no intention of sitting on the sidelines. Sir Walter Raleigh secures a royal patent to establish a colony and dispatches the first expedition to Roanoke Island. Just off the coast of modern-day North Carolina, the location is strategic, a sheltered bay, close to Spanish shipping lanes and perfect for basing a privateer fleet. The first colonization attempt in 1585 fails. The settlers clash with the local tribes, starve, and bolt back to England at the first opportunity. But Raleigh pushes for a second try in 1587. A new group lands on Roanoke, 115 people. This time, it is not just soldiers and fortune seekers. There are families, women, 11 children. The colony is led by John White, an artist, a cartographer, a meticulous man loyal to the mission. With him is his pregnant daughter, Eleanor, in August 1587. She gives birth to a girl. They name her Eleanor Dare, the first English child, born on American soil. But the colony is hanging by a thread. Supplies are dwindling. Relations with the local tribes are tense. The settlers mistakenly attacked a friendly group, thinking they were hostiles. White makes the call to sail back to England for help. He figures he'll be gone a few months, tops. Fate has other plans. England erupts into war with the Spanish Armada. Every ship gets requisitioned. White scrambles, hunts for a vessel, bags officials. He doesn't make it back for 3 years. August 1590. When he steps ashore, the colony is empty. No bodies, no signs of violence. Tents and houses have been neatly taken apart. The chests White buried before he left are dug up and looted, but not by natives. Judging by how some items are carefully stacked on a tree trunk, carved in Roman letters, Croatoan. Now, here is what grabs me. Croatoan was the name of an island and a tribe living just south of Roanoke. No cross carved anywhere. That was the distress signal they agreed on. Just the word. White is desperate to sail there immediately, but a storm rolls in. The ship gets torn from its anchor and swept out to sea. John White will never see his daughter or his granddaughter again. The Roanoke mystery stays wide open. What happened to those colonists during the 3 years their governor spent fighting winds and bureaucracy? And what does the word Croatoan actually mean? For centuries have passed, but the investigation is very much alive. Let us follow the trail of the colonists using archaeology, genetics, and historical records. Version 1: Assimilation with the Croatoan tribe. This is the most straightforward reading of that carving on the post. The Croatoan were a friendly tribe living on Hatteras Island. Just south of Roanoke, their chief, Manteo, was an ally of the English. He'd even been to London and spoke the language. Archaeological finds kind of back this up. On Hatteras Island, they've dug up late 16th century European artifacts, a copper pin, glass fragments, part of an iron sword, stuff the colonists could have carried with them. But here as the thing, it is not a mass deposit of items. It has scattered finds. They prove contact. They don't prove relocation. Version to starvation and internal collapse. The colonists arrived way too late to plant crops. Supplies ran thin. White left, and the colony lost its leader. 3 years without resupply. That as a death sentence. People could be split into groups, headed in different directions looking for food, and died one by one in the woods and swamps. But here is the counter-argument that gets me. If they starved, where are the remains? 115 people don't just vanish without a trace. Even if animals scattered the bodies, there should be bones, buttons, buckles left behind. Version 3: An attack. Several native tribes lived in the region, and not all of them were friendly. The Croatoan, hit hard by English raids, could be struck back. The Spanish were close to their outposts set down in Florida. But neither side left signs of a fight, and neither side ever bragged about wiping out the colony. The natives didn't take trophies that would show up in their villages. The Spanish, who documented their operations religiously, never mention an attack on Roanoke. Now, modern methods. The Lost Colony DNA project, launched a few years back, is trying to find genetic traces of the colonists. Among the modern population of North Carolina, researchers are collecting DNA samples from people with surnames matching those of the colonists and comparing them against English archives. The results aren't conclusive yet, but the direction is promising. At the same time, archaeologists are scanning the area with ground-penetrating radar, hunting for mass graves or traces of European structures buried under layers of soil. And then there is Site X, about 50 miles inland from Roanoke, which threw a new twist into the whole story. Excavations there turned up pottery identical to what the colonists used, plus traces of a temporary camp. It is possible a group of settlers really did push deeper into the mainland, tried to start a new settlement, and gradually melted into native communities, leaving behind only the faintest archaeological footprint. Honestly, the truth is still slipping through our fingers, but the outline of an answer is starting to push through the centuries. We've gathered the facts and the archaeological clues. Now, 3 versions explaining the fate of the Roanoke colony. Version A, the skeptical one. There is no mystery. The colonists died of starvation and disease, and the word Croatoan was simply a sign pointing where they planned to go. Before the end came, proponents point to the disastrous logistics of the whole expedition. The settlers arrived too late to plant. They didn't have enough supplies. They made enemies of neighboring tribes. Without the governor, the colony splintered into groups that scattered along the coast looking for food and died of exposure. No bodies. Wild animals dragged them off, and the bones dissolved in the acidic soil over for centuries. Croatoan isn't an answer. It is a death note from people who had nowhere left to go. Version B, peaceful assimilation with the Croatoan tribe. This hypothesis says the colonists didn't die. They joined the natives, moved to Hatteras Island, and melted into the tribe. The evidence, European artifacts dug up on Hatteras, and the oral traditions of the Croatoan themselves, which mention pale-skinned people living among them. Modern DNA tests are hunting for genetic markers of English settlers in the blood of the region as current inhabitants, and some early results look promising, but critics push back hard. European artifacts could be reached the tribe through trade or by looting in empty village, not through direct merging. Oral traditions are slippery. They could be formed later through contact with other Europeans. And here is the big one. If assimilation was so widespread, why haven't archaeologists found a mixed settlement with clear signs of English architecture and daily life? Version C balanced. This is where I land. The colony split. Some of them, maybe most, really did go to the Croatoan and were slowly absorbed over time, but not everyone. A smaller group pushed inland toward Site X, where we found traces of a temporary camp. Their fate is unknown. Likely they died out or blended into other tribes as well. The word Croatoan was left for white as an honest signpost. We've gone to our allies. Find us there. But the storm stopped the governor from reaching his destination, and time wiped the trail clean. Science hasn't put a final period on this yet, but archaeology and genetics are closing in. Roanoke didn't vanish without a trace. It just stopped being English. More than 430 years of silence, and now science is finally starting to talk. Ground-penetrating radar is sweeping the soil of Hatteras Island, hunting for mass graves. Geneticists with the Lost Colony DNA project are comparing Y chromosomes of modern Americans against archival samples from England. Site X, 50 miles inland from Roanoke, keeps giving up new finds. Pottery fragments, traces of a palisade. Possibly the very group that pushed deeper into the mainland. We don't have the exact answer yet, but for the first time in centuries, it has stopped being a ghost. The Roanoke mystery has turned into a scientific problem, with real tools to solve it. So, here is my question. Let us say a DNA test confirms that direct descendants of the Roanoke colonists are living among the population of North Carolina. Right now, which matters more to you? Recognizing the colony not as vanished, but as absorbed into the tribes? Or leaving the legend alive as a symbol of the unsolvable mystery? A lost colony or surviving ancestors? Which answer do you want to hear?